Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about something different than what I usually talk about. I just think this is an important topic that I just wanted to let people know about, especially coming from my perspective. That will all make sense in a second, but just so you know, some people that have similar situations as me aren't as open to talking about it as I am, so just be wary of that. Okay, I'm going to start off with a history lesson for those of you who don't really know much about this and just want to have some little bit of context. So on September 25th, 1980, China began the one-child policy. I just wanted to clear up a few misconceptions about the one-child policy. One, it's not one child, it's one birth. So if someone has like triplets or twins, they're not going to kill the other kids and just keep one. They can have the other ones. And also, it varies on the punishments and incentives people had to follow this policy depending on the region or just where they were. And also, in some places it was okay to have more than one birth. It was mostly enforced heavily in highly populated areas, but if you lived in like a random village in the middle of the mountains, like, it wasn't, like, no one really cared. Definitely the biggest problem is that there's now more boys than girls. Boys are more favored because they carry the family name, and they're also in charge of taking care of their parents when they turn old. So having girls wasn't as valued or favored in China. That also resulted in aborting more females because of their gender. Now there was kind of a silver lining in all of this, because as orphanage started to fill up, first world countries like the United States started bringing those orphan kids over to their homes. According to Vanity Fair, from 1991 to 2008, over 60,000 girls were adopted from China to the United States. And one of those girls being me. Hello! So here's a little bit of a background of me. I was abandoned at 3 days old at a train station waiting room, which basically means my mom dropped me on a seat and then went on a train and went, "Bye bye, baby." You may be thinking, that's insensitive. But this is my story, so I can tell it how I want to. Anyways, at 10 months old, I was adopted and taken to the United States, where I live now, in California. So let's talk about the social climate today. There was a lot of things about culture and this idea that it should be preserved. And here's the deal. I was born in China. As far as I know, I'm 100% Chinese, but I don't know anything about Chinese culture. I know like 2 words in Chinese, and one of them I have to remind myself by saying Ni Hao Kai Lan. So it's weird because Chinese is my race, but not my ethnicity. And here's what I really want to talk about is the fact that I was raised by a white family. I'm surrounded by white friends, but if I act white or show anything of white culture, I get called things like whitewashed or a Twinkie. I get shamed for the way I was raised because it didn't match up with the color of my skin. I did go to what I called Chinese school when I was like 5, but I didn't care about that stuff when I was 5. I only went for the food. I was once hanging out with a few foreign exchange friends, and one of them talked about the Chinese tea ceremony, and I just kind of sat there acting like, yeah, I know what that is. I don't think I was fooling anyone. And another time I mentioned to someone that I was from China, I was born there, and he started speaking Chinese, and then when I told him I didn't know it, he got embarrassed. But I felt more embarrassed that I didn't know Chinese and that is where I'm from, but I don't know the language. Here's the deal. I was born in China, but I was raised in America. And I shouldn't feel ashamed for following American culture. My point in all this is, even though that I was born in China and that I'm 100% Chinese, I should be okay with acting in American culture and feeling okay with that and not feeling like I've been deprived of this part of my life that really was never part of my life. In fact, Chinese culture is the reason why I was abandoned, because of the prejudice towards women. So I feel like it should be okay for me to follow American culture and be okay with that one, because that's the one that accepted me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this. Sorry that this was a weird video, but I just wanted to talk about that because I thought it was an important topic. But yeah, I hope you guys listen to this and really take stuff in. Thanks for watching.